So today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be doing a page based on a couple of different things I've been seeing in the month of July. So July was really crazy for me, and I didn't have a lot of time to scrapbook, but I did have a lot of time to look at YouTube videos and the internet just because I've been on a lot of planes and in some hotel rooms for work trips. And I noticed that a lot of people have been doing Christmas in July. And I've also seen a couple of YouTube series about using your Pinterest pages and getting it off the board, I think is one I've seen. And other people have just been doing a lot of Pinterest uh, pages where they scrap lift. So I decided to combine those two things. So what you're seeing is in the upper right hand corner, and it was on the beginning of my video, I found a Pinterest Christmas page that I've had on my board for quite some time, and I'll put a link to it in the notes that I decided to scrap lift. I really liked this page for a couple of reasons. First of all, it didn't have the classic red and green. It was more of a peachy color and the mint, and also because it used a lot of scraps. So what you've been seeing me do here is I used a pink base and took a lot of the scraps from my scrap bin and I cut strips and now I am inking the edges and pasting those down to make the base of the photo like you see on the Pinterest page. I used some Felicity Jane that I had used in a previous kit um, and just some random pages that I had in my scrap bin that all had the same kind of color schemes. I also used, if you look at those letters P and J for PJs, some white chipboard letters I had that were really old. I think I got them from QVC a long time ago, and I'm down to just some random letters. So P and J came from that, and I got to finally use those on a page. So after I spent all the time kind of cutting and inking, I was going to mat my photo in white, and I just didn't like the way it looked. I thought the photo was needed a little bit something else to anchor it since everything else on the page was so kind of light textured. So I got a navy blue piece of paper and I backed it first in that, and then I'm going to put a bigger white mat around that. So that kind of helped when, even though the scrap lift has a white, and I wanted to use white because the letters over there, the P and the J were white, I just wanted to have some darker border to kind of anchor that photo in the middle of the of all of the different pages or papers. So what you're seeing here also is I'm not measuring my borders. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. Um, I'm not taking the time to go and measure and get everything just right. I think that's fine for a page like this where it's really about kind of having fun and making sure that it all looks good to the eye. I'm going to finish by inking a little bit more just to make sure that border also isn't just white. When you have things like this where it's a lot of light colors and a lot of white paper and you're still stacking it, I find just putting a little bit of ink around the corners helps them all stand out and makes everything kind of be unique. So the next thing I do is paste down or tape down every one of these strips. And I decide to kind of do them a little wonky so they're not straight up and down. And I like the way that ends up looking. I am going to save you guys from watching me tape down every single one. So you'll see here's the last one going in. And the big thing for me really was to make sure I had enough room for the letters P and J and S because that had to go over there on the right hand side. I'm going to use some foam to back my photo so it kind of stands up on the page. Also kind of creates a little bit of a shadow against those mats. I don't have the adhesive foam, so I'm actually have to put adhesive on both sides. I have just purchased some, but I'm making myself use all of the old foam first because that way I actually use it up. The word Christmas I had in one of my many kind of half-used Christmas sticker pages, and they were a bunch of circles in different colors. So that kind of went along with the theme of the page, which is a lot of different colors, all kind of in mint and pink and some red. So I think it went really well. But I didn't leave enough room quite for Christmas. And so then I overlapped them to make it look good. And then I overlapped them too much. So I ended up sneaking that little Christmas tree on the very end just to make it work. There was a sticker that said home for the holidays, and my girls, who were both in college at the time, were home for the holidays. So I thought that was a good add on. And then I decided to glue down the P and the J. And if you'll remember, I said these are very old. So I glue them down, and then later I'm going to kind of have to glue them again and put a weight on them just to make sure they hold and they don't pop up. The other side of this story is that they have been in a storage unit for a while when I was moving my scrapbook stuff. And so they're also kind of warped from the heat. So these chipboard have been through a lot, but I'm glad I get to finally use them. I'm finding a few other stickers. I kind of kept myself to just a few sticker sets for this particular page just to try to get it done. What I put on now says bundle up. There's a blue sticker that says love. There's going to be a place for the date. That's all on these two sticker sheets that I had pulled out. A snowflake and then a cute little snowman that's right in the right color of blue. You'll notice the pajamas that my daughters have on are also blue and pink and blue and white. So that kind of went with putting the pink background and adding some blues to all of this green. So the next thing I'm going to do is write some lines so that I can journal in the same place that they have the journaling on the Pinterest page. However, they had the ornaments hanging down and I had the big letters for my title. So I think that kind of made the difference. There's me writing the date on the little date sticker, and then you're going to see I'm going to get my ruler out and draw those lines. I use pencil to draw the lines this time, and I'm going to erase them later. Sometimes I write the lines in pen and keep them on there, but this time I just wanted the journaling to stand out on its own. So I've got the journaling done. I did add a couple more stickers. Here's kind of a quick walk through the page, and here's my final page. I really appreciate you watching with me. If you enjoyed this, please hit subscribe and like and leave me a comment and let me know if you're doing Christmas in July. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.